Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hangout Cafe with me, your host, Joseph Njai, and today we're talking climate change. Now, with over 7 billion people consuming the world's resources, our economic viability is pitted against our fragile environment with a less to none consideration to the future of the environment and, in some, the planet. Scientists across the world, they have gathered and they have sounded an alarm to a worrying trend, with model predictions that paint a bleak picture of a possible future that can be avoided if action is taken as soonest as possible. With prediction like by the year 2100 there will be another 60 centimeters rise in seawater, and it is to be felt across the world, it only underscores the grim picture our future generations might face if action isn't taken as fast as possible. Scientists are concerned that unless there is dramatic change in our carbon footprint, as of now, up to 50% of human population may be living with water shortages, all within the next quarter of a century. Among the backbone of the world's ecosystems, it includes our tropical rainforest. They face an uncertain future, especially now, due to the current state of affairs with regard to efforts to mitigate climate change. And therefore, a few questions arise. First, how can tropical ecosystems change? And second, can our tropical ecosystem survive a 2% or even 4% degree increase in global temperatures this century? Now, this brings into sharp focus one of the world's greatest and biologically diverse ecosystems. And it is located in the tropics and has over 2 million square miles of rainforest. This is the Amazon rainforest. Its health is most important to the world as it stores a massive amount of carbon dioxide. However, with the reality as of the moment, with mega drought and floods affecting this diverse ecosystem, trillions of trees could be lost, thus reducing the rainforest's ability to take out carbon dioxide emissions, making clear one undeniable fact. Its fate is definitely swinging in the balance. Another undeniable fact is this: climate systems are highly connected. What happens to the planet affects the rainforests. What happens to the rainforest affects weather patterns across the world. Therefore, if the rainforest, for example, the Amazon, passes its tipping point, we are sure to feel its effects across the planet. Rainforests are a source of biodiversity, and even more, they are an important source of moisture. The moisture they produce once released into the atmosphere affects the regional climate, another aspect to consider in the immense effect to various species that live on this planet. With continual warming on the planet and the effects that be as a result, we are potentially putting the future of these different species in jeopardy. It is a great unknown, to be honest. This is because we cannot be sure that all these species are resilient. One thing is certain, though: we are putting this biodiversity of the planet in danger of extinction if the current trends are not remedied promptly. In all honesty, scientists have sounded the clarion call more times than I care to count. The question on my mind is, are these concerns being effectively addressed by world leaders, and what role does youth have in this global conversation? In the year 2016, world leaders came together and collectively signed the Paris Climate Agreement. That moment was perceived as a turning point for the world, and in the same spirit, former President of the United States of America said that on that day, the world met the moment. And if the world followed through on the commitments that the agreement embodies, history may well judge it as a turning point for the planet. The signatories to this agreement agreed to reduce carbon emissions and to actually do their best to keep global warming at well below 2%. Now, we all know that eventually the United States of America decided to withdraw from the agreement, but this exposes a new perspective to the Paris Climate Change Agreement. This agreement is not legally binding, and as such, all recommendations are to be fulfilled by members out of goodwill and good faith. And this is also in putting the well-being of the planet in perspective. Now, the other perspective to climate change debate is the immense noise that seems to come from politicians. When looking for more information on climate change, rarely do political outfits have a conclusive database of information that does not involve their political stance or interests. One would think that when it comes to the future of the world, political interests are but the least of our worries. But at this time, it seems that politics is all what most politicians are concerned about. Ironical, right? Well, this is the first part of our conversations on climate change. We will continue to address most of these issues, and we will continue to bring different initiatives that have been taken by different young people into form. Don't forget to keep tabs on the Hangout Cafe, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like and share, and also follow our conversation on climate change. It has been the Hangout Cafe with me, your host, Joseph Njau.